Dear boys, let us continue the third part of the chapter Understanding Diversity of Civics subject class 6. In our previous discussion, we find diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical area in which they live. As example, living near the sea is quite different from living in a mountainous area. The lifestyle of people, those who are living in near the sea, it is quite different to compare with the living standard of mountainous area. Now let us see page number 9, first paragraph. Not only do people have different clothing and eating habits, but even the kinds of work they do are different. Only not that means their clothing and eating habits are different, but even the kinds of work they do, they are also different. In cities, it is often easy to forget how closely people's lives are tied to their physical surroundings. This is because in the city, people seldom grow their own vegetables and grain. Instead, they depend on the market to buy all the food and other goods that they need. To compare, that means city life with village, we find a couple, that means different houses, how that means they live in a tight manner to their physical surroundings. It is because of in the city people seldom is rarely grow their own vegetables and grains. In rare case we find that. In place instead means in place of that they depend on the market to buy all the food and other goods that they need. Let us try to understand what we mean when we say that historical and geographical factors influence means affect the diversity of a region. We can do this by reading about life in two different parts of the country. They are Kerala and Ladakh, like that. Look at the map of India in an atlas and locate Kerala and Ladakh. See, Kerala, look there, locate there, that means in the map of India. Can you list three ways in which the different geographical location of these two regions would influence the following? One is in between the hilly area, that is Ladakh, or covered by snow like that. Another is at the sea bank, that is Kerala. So the food people eat there, the clothes they wear, the work they do, they are different. So you have to list three ways. Let us see Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here since this region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. Maximum part of the year, the area is covered by snow and it is not receiving rainfall. So here what happened? These regions are very little agriculture possible there. There are very few trees that can grow in the region for drinking water. People depend on the melting snow during the summer months. During summer months, when snows are melting at that time, they used to collect water for drinking purposes. People here keep sheep, and the sheep in this region are special because they produce pashmina wool. Pashmina wool, it is a kind of wool which is very good in quality. Most people like this pashmina wool. Children, when you grow up at that time, you'll understand that. This wool is priced, and pashmina shawls cost a lot of money. The people in Ladakh carefully collect the wool of the sheep and sell this to traders from Kashmir, a businessman of Kashmir to the businessmen of Kashmir. They used to sell to them. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in Kashmir. Chiefly, most probably, Pashmina shawls, these are woven in Kashmir. The people eat meat and milk products like cheese and butter. Each family owns some goats, cows, and joes. Joes means yak cows. Being a desert did not mean that Ladakh did not attract its share of traders. It was considered a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to what is today called Tibet. These caravans carried textiles and spices, raw silk, and carpets from there. Let's see the next page, page number 10. Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Underline this, okay? In your book, you must underline it, boy. Ladakh is called a little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago, and there is a significant Muslim population here. Ladakh has a very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. Local versions of the Tibetan national epic, the Kesar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslims and Buddhists. Both communities performed and sung this Kesar Saga. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. A number of spices like pepper, cloves, and cardamoms are grown on the hills. See, many European countries also, European countries or Englishmen, they came there in order to trade these spices, especially from that Kerala during those days. It is spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jews and Arab traders were the first to come here. It was the purpose for carrying these spices from there, and it attracted spices attracted those traders like Jewish, Arab traders. They were the first to come here. The apostle of Christ, Saint Thomas, is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago, and he is credited with bringing Christianity to India. He was the person who brought Christianity in India. Many Arab traders also came and settled down here. Ibn Battuta, who traveled here a little less than 700 years ago, wrote a travelogue in which he describes the lives of Muslims and says that they were a highly respected community. Travelogue means a book or film about the places visited by a traveler. That is called travelogue. So he himself he said what here about the Arab traders also came and settled down here. Ibn Battuta he himself who traveled here a little less than 700 years ago. He wrote a travelogue in which he describes the lives of Muslims and says that they were a highly respected community, highly respected people. The Portuguese discovered the sea road to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. It is about Kerala only. Because of all these various historical influences, people in Kerala practice different religions. See, it is because of all these various historical influences, people in Kerala they practice different religions such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. The fishing nets used here look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets and are called chinawala. Even the utensil used for frying is called the chinachatti, and it is believed that the word chin could have come from China. The fertile land and climate are suited to growing rice, and a majority of people here eat rice, fish, and vegetables. This is about Kerala. Let us proceed to the next page of the chapter. While Kerala and Ladakh are quite different in terms of their geographical features, we find the differences between Kerala and Ladakh, they are quite different in terms of their geographical features. Then features it is not same. The history of both regions has seen similar cultural influences. Both regions were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. It was influences the Chinese and the Arab traders. It was the geography of Kerala which allowed for the cultivation of spices and the special geographical location of Ladakh and its wool that drew traders to these regions. See, traders, how that means why they reached there. These are the regions which has mentioned. Thus, history and geography are often tied in the cultural life of a region. The influence of diverse cultures is not merely a thing of the past. Our present lives are all about moving from place to place for work, and with each move, our cultural traditions and way of life slowly become part of the new place we are in. That means, as one happened to change his shelter, here it has slowly become part of the new place changes. Similarly, in our own neighborhoods, we live close to people from several communities. Our daily lives are about the ways in which we do things together and hear stories about each other's lives, customs, and traditions. Our daily lives is about the ways in which we do things together by company with others and hear stories about each other's lives, customs, and traditions. Unity in diversity. Though see varieties or different are there, but even and though we have unity in our country, India's diversity has always been recognized as a source of its strength. See, India's diversity, though different cultural, different caste people, different creeds people, different communities people living here, but India's diversity has always been recognized as a source of its strength. When the British ruled India, women and men from different cultural, religious, and regional backgrounds came together to oppose them. So, women, even women from different culture, different religious groups, they came together. At the time, everyone they thought we are Indians, though we have different culture, different religions, different language. India's freedom movement had thousands of people of different backgrounds in it. So at the time of freedom movement, free from the hand of British, yes, our India started that freedom movement. It had thousands of people of different backgrounds in it. They worked together to decide joint actions. They went to jail together and they found different ways to oppose the British. Interestingly, the British thought they could divide Indians because they were so different and then continue to rule them. See, boys, very interestingly, you see, the British they think what? They thought that as Indians are of different religious people, so they can divide and continue their ruling period. But the people showed how they could be different and yet be united in their battle against the British. But people of India, they proved themselves, though they are different, yet they are united in their battle in order to fight against like British. So you read this one also, okay? Don't forget the days of blood, oh friend. In the midst of your happiness, remember to shed a tear for us. The hunter has torn away every single flower. Do plant a flower in the desert garden, dear friend. Having fallen to bullets we slapped in Jallianwala Bagh. Do light a lamp on this lonely grave, oh friend. The blood of Hindus and Muslims flows together today. To soak your robe in this river of blood, dear friend. Some rot in jails while others lie in their graves. Do shed a few tears for them, O friend. So this song was sung after Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar, in which the British general opened fire on a large group of unarmed peaceful people, killing many and wounding even more. See, here this song was sung After Jallianwala Bagh massacre, dear General British General, he gathered a great number of people. So, in order to get free from the hand of British people, they gathered there in Jallianwala Bagh. But you see, as they gathered there without any thought, General Dyer, that means he ordered his armies to shoot the people. So many people were killed there and many more were wounded. Men and women, Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims, rich and poor, had gathered to protest against the British in the Jallianwala Bagh. This song was composed and sung to honor the memory of those brave people who laid down their life. So, in order to praise them, this song was sung in such a way which is given above. Let us see the last page, that is page number 12. Songs and symbols that emerged during the freedom struggle serve as a constant reminder of our country's rich tradition of respect for diversity. These songs and symbols which are emerged during the freedom struggle serve as a constant reminder. It remind of our country's rich tradition of respect for diversity. Do you know the story of the Indian flag? It was used as a symbol of protest against the British by people everywhere. In order to protest against British, people use this symbol, the Indian flag tricolor, everywhere. In his book, The Discovery of India, Jawaharlal Nehru says that Indian unity is not something imposed from the outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. The widest tolerance of belief and custom was practiced, and every variety acknowledged and even encouraged. Tolerance means the ability or willingness to tolerate or one dislike or disagree. That is called tolerance. And acknowledge means accepted or admitted the existence or truth of. So here in his book, The Discovery of India, boys, you mark this one also, who wrote the book Discovery of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, you have to say. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, says that Indian unity it is not something imposed from outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. It was here only. The widest tolerance of belief and custom was practiced, and every variety acknowledged and even encouraged. It was Nehru who coined the phrase unity in diversity. This one also you must underline in your textbook. Who coined the phrase unity in diversity? You must say Jawaharlal Nehru to describe the country. In order to describe our country, he coined the phrase unity in diversity. Okay, boy. One important thing is here. See inside this box. India's national anthem, composed by Rabindranath Tagore, was the first person who got Nobel Prize from India. He was a great poet. So, if anybody asks you who composed our national anthem means Janagana Manadi, okay? So, you have to answer Rabindranath Tagore is another expression of the unity of India. In what way does the national anthem describe this unity? To answer this, you have to say it inculcates a sense of nationalism and love for one's country. Let's conclude here for today. Thank you all.